one of you went over here today or yesterday. Is there anybody who was watching? I wonder. And they made footsteps on my yoga mat. And I know it wasn't me because I checked my footsteps and compared. It's a different. Footprint. I don't like that, and I would prefer you would not. And I think that is obvious, even from the Constitution. There's unreasonable search. If that's what you were doing, searching or just harassing. Maybe he's trying to make a statement about my statement, a retort that I think it's okay for food employees who work in the food industry to have samples. Maybe it was one of the city workers or the police who think that, well, if food workers can have a sample, then government workers can have a sample. Unreasonable search. It's in the Constitution. Well, I think it might be the police because last year when I was fired for my last job, I had trouble with the police, because I didn't mow my lawn. And I was saving money, I didn't have any gas money, I didn't even turn on my air conditioner, and they wanted me to mow my lawn. And I called them crazy for it. I waited a bit, and then I gave them my paperwork that I usually give to everybody I meet closely about my YouTube channel, my City Hall video, and the schizophrenic video. Maybe it was my cop neighbor who has his dog in a 4-foot by 4-foot fence, and then he saw me have my Labradors without a chain, and he wasn't complaining. So now he thinks he can complain this way. I don't like that. That's not cool. But I don't think they'll listen, because the government, they spy on us. I don't like that either. The NSA, that's a reasonable search also. And then there's the YouTube algorithm, that's a reasonable search. The advertisements that spy on people. I heard the ads, they put trackers on people. And they track people through websites. Facebook, I heard, does that. That's not cool. Well, I don't see anything missing. That's good. Well, I figured I might as well bring my gun, because to show that I do have one, and I do support the Second Amendment. Trespassing by itself, I think, is similar to stealing, in that it's like an insult if I don't catch you. But if I catch you, then that's more of a, it feels more dangerous, so that's when I might go more offensive. But I think that's more worthy of a brawl than a bullet. Like if they don't escalate when I catch it in person. Well, it could also be my neighbor down the street who might have been communicating with fireworks. I heard a firework go off. and I'm pretty sure you could hear everything really far away. Maybe he's trolling. In that case, he didn't see the video probably. But he heard my comments of making the video. Well, another reason why I decided to make this video and to show you that I have a gun is that I've heard some mass shootings going on, and I've heard somebody ran a bunch of people over with a car recently, and it makes me wonder, maybe they want to communicate with people on the internet somehow, or flex or somehow. So I think it's a good idea to be on my guard. It's not just I shouldn't just rely on the police. When the police are minutes away, when seconds count, police are minutes away. That's what the High Impact Flick said. I like that saying. You shouldn't just rely on them. You should rely on yourself as well. And I know I've been bad with that. I haven't been carrying it with me all the time. I should start carrying it more often. As far as my workout, I did my workout today, but I did not do one yesterday. I was way too tired because I stayed up half the night making the video because my laundry machine was broken and I threw off my schedule. I only had 4 hours of sleep Sunday night, so on Monday I just went home and went right to bed. And that was a good rest. What's up, Troy? This is my muscular cat, Troy. He's a spotted. He's very, very muscular. I've never had a muscular cat like that before. But he doesn't hunt though. I asked him not to hunt and he doesn't hunt. His girlfriend does. She's much skinnier and gentler and she hunts a lot. She catches a mouse every day. I've been having mice as pets, or rats as pets. And my cat loves to catch them. And I got owls around that likes them too. My farmer probably wouldn't like hearing that though. And I've been feeding the possums also. Maybe he was angry at me, a farmer. I hope people could get along with animals in cities. I would like to imagine a future where there's wildlife in cities as well. I heard in New York there's pizza rats, and people treat them as outdoor pets like pigeons. I like that idea. The COVID stuff is baloney. And yeah, I was talking about my workout. Today, my workout, I was extra pumped. And not only was I extra pumped, but I also had, I took a pack of Mentos, it's about 100 calories, and I ate it on my way from work. So it gave me a sugar rush by the time I got home, so I got some time to digest, and I really liked that. I got a big pump from that. And then I had some lactose-free ice cream as well. I was doing actual push-ups, not on my knee push-ups this time. But yeah, I'm curious to know, does anybody else who's watching this have a gun? Do they have backup right now? I want to know if somebody else inspired you to get it and who did. High Impact Flex was a huge inspiration for me. But I got this back in high school when I first left on my bicycle, when I started cycling. I spent 10 years on the road cycling, but wherever I went, I was commuting on my bicycle, and I carried with me on my bicycle. And when I worked at the lead recycling plant, and they said you can't have a firearm at work, so I asked them if I could park my bike outside of their property with my gun in the bike, and then they said we don't know if that's legal. I asked the city official, the police, they said yes, so I just left it outside and they didn't fire me over that. So yeah, I've been carrying this around for a while. I know Cahlen, the homeless person who lives in the woods, he carries it. He was mostly worried about bears and coyotes. I hope I won't have to use my gun against people. I think I won't have to. I think the vast majority, the most likely scenario is that most people will never have to use one, well, assuming there's no World War III and there's a draft. By the way, a draft is immoral. Compelled military service is slavery. That's indentured servitude. It's not right. Conscription, selective service, none of that's right. It's both Russia and Ukraine forced their citizens to fight against their will, and for that reason alone, it's immoral to support either side. And America's immoral for making everybody sign up for selective service. The Europeans are immoral for making everybody sign up for conscription. Compelled military service with threats of punishment like jail time, that's immoral. But yeah, like I was saying, vast majority of people will never need to use it, I think, in their lifetime. But I have seen examples on the internet where people did, and it saved their life and their property. Stand your ground. By the way, that reminds me of that mattress guy in Texas, the two people who were in a standoff, and then they shot somebody over the mattress. I heard their case was somebody made a judgment on it, and the person who was closest to the opponent got away free, but the person who was backing him up went to jail. I think that's not right. He should be free. His buddy who was defending him, it was a stand your ground case. He was defending him. He had his gun. He was displaying it, that this is how serious he was, and he made an offensive gesture saying, "This is not cool, bro. We're standing our ground about this issue." And he defended his bro, and he went to jail over it. That's not right. He should be free. But as far as my weight loss and videos, nobody reached out. That's unfortunate, I guess. or cringe. So maybe they're cringing on me, on behalf of me. The amazing atheist, maybe he wants to work out with me. You're invited if you want. Oh, I also want to mention that I've been taking a multivitamin to try to help get rid of my cold, because I had a cold for 2 months. It had some niacin in it that expands blood vessels, and it gave me puffy eyes. But I think it helped because my cold basically went away. I've been also eating a bag of shredded lettuce every day, some fish supplements. The C8 powder helps, but it doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't give energy and it doesn't give euphoria like the sugar high. So it only gets rid of a tiny little percentage of what I would normally call hunger. But I don't have a white tongue anymore. In the past, when I did the calorie deficit, when I went down to 180 pounds once, I would have a fully white tongue from fasting, intermittent fasting. But now I don't have that at all. So I know it's working. It's not completely fake. Placebo. I've tried different beef. I've tried beef from Hyvee. It has a different texture. It's much more ground up, but it smells real bad when I cook it. I don't like it. I'm gonna stick with the local store or Walmart. Maybe even go to chicken and get my that thing working again. As far as my lawn, I have not mowed it yet, but I did dig up the really tall brush the other day. I digged it up, pulled it out to get rid of the roots as well. And my neighbor mowed the area near the road for me. I talked with my neighbor about it once. He wanted to mow my lawn before for free, and I asked him if he's under duress, because I said I was under duress. I felt under duress, and I didn't see an ad on Craigslist for anybody to help mow lawns. And he said he's part of the local council, but he just stayed quiet about it and he stopped mowing my lawn. But he did take over like 5 feet from my lawn. He's trying to claim it as his own or something. On the property maps on the internet, it looks like the 5 feet is mine, but if you look on the street and you line it up with a landmark, the street across us, then it doesn't look like it's mine. Maybe that's what he's trying to say.